as Kesha, we are suggesting that these grade 7 and 8 students, pupils, they should be domiciled in primary schools. We are not ready for them. Wherever they are, they will come at the right time because of their age and because of preparation, which is not yet adequate for them. Secondary school should be graded according to pathways, e.g. the ones which are going to STEM and the ones which are going to pursue talents, so that we'll be able to see how best we can benefit from the same. There is need to prepare secondary schools sufficiently to handle CBC. There is need to prepare secondary schools sufficiently. There is need to prepare secondary schools sufficiently to handle CBC in both junior and senior levels. The teachers are not yet ready, they have not been prepared, so are the principals. So as far as you're concerned, the government must invest even more in teacher preparation so that we are able to understand what CBC is all about. The ICT infrastructure should be improved to allow learners to do research on their own as per the CBC demands. The language to be used in STEM and sports pathways is not clearly defined. We don't know whether it's English, Swahili or mother tongue as a medium of instruction. The teacher or the content master may not be adequately prepared to handle the content up to now. There is therefore need to train all the teachers and not to sample just to be trained. I'm aware you're supposed to be having a training very soon this November, but you're saying that we should not be having just small people being trained, so the government should train others, to have all the teachers being trained for the same. We are suggesting as Kesha, the current fees should go up by about 300% in tandem with the trends today. Life has become very hard, as you are aware, that everything has now skyrocketed. Therefore, as Kesha, we are proposing that the fees be increased up by 300%, as you are aware. The first time it was looked at was 2014 during the Kilemi report. As at now, CBC is quite demanding on the parents, and therefore they need to review the materials to be used. These people are really suffering, being told to bring so many funny things, including rabbits. I don't know where you want them to get those rabbits from, and it's training the parents. We are talking as Kesha because you're also parents. Then the demands be very minimal. Then the issue of these kids being given so much work in terms of assignments, we are suggesting as Kesha, even before they come to our level, let the school end at 6 p.m. To allow the learners to be cheated, to play, to tell stories to their parents. And like now when they are supposed to be given homework, which is too much. As a way forward, we are also saying that the quality assurance in school should be harmonized. The issue of teachers being assessed by both the ministry and the TSC, that's a duplication of duties, and we want to believe it can still be addressed. Co-curriculum should be incorporated in weekly learning activities and not on weekends. Teachers are supposed to be resting, so are the students and pupils. And as a way forward, we are saying the government should invest more in sub-county schools as they host the majority of students. As I conclude, the issue of assessment or evaluation, we don't know where you are going to offer CBC. Where are we taking these fellows? Where are they going to? 844 was a better system, so it's our first system of 27423. But now you came up again with something called CBC without consulting us. But here you are, you're telling us now we'll be able to join the train. We shall join the train, yes, as passengers, but as Kesha, we are proposing that you consider coming up with a hybrid system between CBC 844 and our initial 27423 system, which we had earlier. Thank you, and may God bless you.
That one, I'm talking as a teacher at the same time as a parent. I don't want to go into many issues as pertaining that. Number two, content is too wide to cover within given timelines. And remember, you cannot shortcut the way we are doing with 844. This one follows a clear structure. So if you have not taken in what is supposed to be done, then that's a flop. Too many learning areas. that strain existing number of teachers. What am I saying? The understaffing of teachers in our institution is serious. So therefore we need teachers. We have also shoddy training of CBC handlers. Does not equip the teachers with the requisite skills to handle the dynamism of CBC. You find that the work that should have been covered within a month is covered within 2 days. That is why I'm terming it is shoddy. Number 5, rural schools lack internet to deliver content related with ICT. Number 6, grade 6 learners are underage. So when you say that they should go to junior secondary schools in other secondary schools, you will be killing the society. Number 7, no enough facilities to accommodate class, that's grade 7 and grade 8 in secondary schools. They have already said that. And why are we doing that? Yet we have classes, empty classes in primary school. We have only put up 1 against 2. That is just simple mathematics. Number 8, homework to be looked at. We have some parents who are absent at home. Some learners are having problems at home. Even if we have those who are learned, why are we perturbing them? They did their work long time ago. So therefore, this homework should be looked at. We have no clear assessment guidelines. You find that we assess these learners in school. Some teachers are mischievous. I'm sorry to say that. They will give marks that are not there. So we must have a check to that. Many schools are missing administrators who are curriculum implementers. Up to this time I'm talking, we have schools missing head teachers. We have schools missing deputy teachers. How will that curriculum be implemented? So we are asking that area should be checked. When we talk about facilities in secondary schools, we have only 1 classroom that has been constructed. Do we have toilets? Do we have such a facility like a dining hall? What about dormitories? Just to mention a few. What are we going to do? The solutions. 1, we are suffering as head teachers. Capitation has stalled since the inception of primary education in the year 2003. Up to this time, nothing has been done. Only 1,480 shillings per learner. Look at the secondary school. They are given 22,000 and over. We are saying that this money should be increased to over 8,000, the capitation at the primary level. The primary head teacher is suffering. Ameshindwa jinsi ya kusema, I want to thank you for this task force. That is why we are airing these views here. Number 3, we must have teachers. The staffing in our primary schools, we should have them. The ECD is domiciled in our primary schools. We have an issue with that. I wish the CC would have been here. We have the teacher in charge of ECD. We have the head teacher. There is a clash. We must have that union working together. Another issue is to enhance capacity building training modalities to be more realistic per day or per week training. This is not enough. TSC to shift focus from TPD to CBC training, so that this is now the giant, the elephant in the room. Number 5, government to install internet to all schools, especially rural areas. You might find that very few schools, primary schools, are found in urban areas. Many of them are found in rural areas, whereby they are also affected by staffing. Walimu wanapotumwa wanataka kuwa in town schools. Rural schools are suffering. Pray for them. Number 7, grade 7 and 8 learners should be domiciled in primary school. Ni kwa nini mnatoa watoto kwenda secondary? What motive had they? Ili sisi in primary schools tukufe so that we don't have learners in primary schools? I think that one should be rechecked. Number 7, the secondary schools lack a capacity to accommodate class 7 and class 8. Then another item, homework to be done by learners and parents to be relieved of that duty. Most parents are absent at home. Homework to be learner oriented. Another item is that we should have clear demarcation of roles between TSC and the Ministry of Education. We'll find that we are being asked to go for training, tena pole pole tunaambiwa msiende. That area should be taken care of on a serious note. Then procurement of textbooks. We'll find that the government has taken that initiative. Sawa tu, but some schools are suffering. Some schools are suffering because of that. We have schools even to date, they don't have textbooks. So it will be good for that to be taken to the schools. Then, NEC.
Just to mention,
NEC should take charge of the assessments from school level to the national level. Thank you very much. I'm Omsale Andrew Tobias, Kepsha Chairman, Kakamega County.
And I'm also the chairman of the municipal board, so I have every right to invite you and welcome you to Kakamega County. Mine will be brief because you've been told many things, but I would like to emphasize on something. It is the private schools in this county that have set a pace in the mode the new government would like to work. We are promoting private-public partnership, and it is in this private-public partnership that we are asking that the policy be formulated, because we are providing 395 schools, and these 395 schools, we have constructed buildings. We are hiring teachers before the Teacher Service Commission hires them. Those teachers are forced to be registered by TSC, and when it comes to them being removed from the schools, nobody talks about it. We are providing employment, we are providing quality education, and we are therefore feeling there is a necessity for us to be incorporated in the policy formulation so that our children are treated as equal. 2, we as private schools, those children we have are public children. If in the secondary schools and if in the primary schools, those children are insured, we are asking our good government to insure those children so that we are not talking of children in private schools and the children in public schools. We want these children to grow as children who are Kenyans. 3, we are actually setting a good example. We are addressing attitude, we are addressing skills, we are addressing knowledge. ASK, attitude, skill, and knowledge. CBC cannot have come at a better time as this time. Having gone through a school which embraced CBC long time ago, the first Harambee Secondary School in the Republic of Kenya, I want to share with you parents, a child who is coming out of CBC today, if he is given the attention that is needed, that child is more versatile than the case which was rushed through, the one of 844. I happen to have seen the change from the old system to 844, and what we observed was the rushing through, no training of the teacher, no training of the colleges. We in the private schools are recommending the following, Bana Chairman. 1, go and address dismantling of the training, both at university tertiary institutions, then we come down to training of the teachers in the field. Until that is done, how do you tell somebody who is used to foot-pound to talk about newtons? They are two different worlds. And as far as we are recommending from the private schools, we know we take teachers who come from college, we take them through training with meager resources, and those teachers, when they come to the public schools, perform very well. And Mr. Chairman, sir, I believe we have an ability to contribute if we are given a chance to give more recommendations. We have recommended to a good extent that we take our professors who are research people, we involve them, and we are also recommending there is a department called planning in the Ministry of Lands. Can we have this department brought into the public institutions so that when we see a planned school in public and we see a planned school in the private school, the children leave that place feeling, I'm grateful I went through this school, and I'm grateful my friend went through the other school. We are not from two different schools. The reason why the private schools are not doing very well, there is very heavy taxation. And this heavy taxation is making the private school not do as much as we want to do. We want to remain the pace setters. And if we are pace setters, our brothers in the government school, and even the unionists, you'll come in to discover, have you ever had issues from private schools? No, we talk to you as brothers, and your advice we take and we implement it. The good thing about private schools is the administration is at a lower level compared with the hierarchy in the government, and we would like to sell that to the government so that if they change the structures, we can make a difference. I'll be coming here to talk about the County Education Board recommendation, but for now, I want to settle my case here to assure you we will support the change in the system from CBC to CBE. Notice the difference. CBC to CBE, where CBE is competence-based education, not curriculum, education, and it should be education for us all at those levels I have addressed. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to consume more time because I know you are still fresh and you will be reacting to these points. Thank you.
The students who have been here have done so well, but they have no relevancy about the CBC. They don't have relevancy about the CBC. You should have brought a standard 6 child here to say exactly what he or she is experiencing. However, they have tried. As a chairman of this working committee, as I continue with my presentation, you will look at this letter and you will give me back when I'll be going. That is how CBC teachers were interdicted and dismissed. That's how the letter looks like. And today we have come here to advise you on how best the CBC can succeed when at that time we were arrested and bungled in the cells because of the same system of CBC. A copy is here that I will give you. It is very detailed. I will not go into it. There are 13 pages, and we have addressed ourselves to almost everything according to the terms of reference that you are given by His Excellency the President. However, we know very well that countries all over the world are getting into what we call global thinking. The global thinking that has resulted into some countries thinking of coming up with the reforms in the education sector. But the care should be taken when we are coming up with the new reforms in the education sector, not to use borrowed intentions. That we can go to America or UK and borrow a system including full stops and commas and impose it on Kenyans, and we think the Kenyans will fit in the same shoes like those other developed countries. That is what happened in Kenya. And when we saw it on 23rd April 2019, we said this one is an ill-prepared system The union officials who spoke about it, I included, Ngola and the rest, were bungled in the cells. It has come off edges. But we know when you want to invent a new system, when a chairman, you must look at the kind of pedagogies that you want to handle, those particular core values and skills that your country requires at that particular moment. Because the epistemology of CBC in Kenya is a problem that we are having right now. If there was public participation during that time, we would not be here talking about CBC. In South Africa, CBC was boycotted. In America, CBC was boycotted. And they came back to listen to people, particularly the teachers, the implementers, the children and the parents, about what they wanted to achieve for their countries. In Nigeria, they came up with a system of education to address kidnapping and raping of women in the country. And they used public participation. But in the long run, it flopped because they did not involve the rapists who are supposed to have attended that particular function. That is what we are witnessing right now. The Kenyan system of 844 to us was not a party system. It came as a result of a commission. We have had commissions, and you know, though mean the commission, the Mackay commission, name them all, whose commission came up with the CBC or the 2633 system in Kenya. This was an individual person system borrowed for his personal gains to eat World Bank money. And we want to appeal to you that the money that the World Bank gave out for CBC in Kenya should be probed, and the victims should be arraigned in courts so that they pay for wasting Kenyans' time and Kenyans' children's time. We're going to car with all that I've said about domiciling junior primary into the primary system, and it should be renamed senior primary. The junior primary should be removed. We have the capacity in primary that will be 2 vacant classrooms to accommodate those children. In secondary, the few classrooms that were constructed called the CBC classroom are already overstretched. They have already been occupied. So you can only have a 2-year grace period to organize yourself, but let the children be in primary as senior primary. Standard 6 child, because of age, cannot walk a long distance looking for a secondary school. They are still urinating. They don't know how to control themselves. When they go to secondary, there will be a lot of molestation and harassment from senior students. Yes. And now you want to bungle them there in a foreign environment where you want them to go and enjoy what is not right for them. When a chairman, as I finish, our issues, as I've given you, are centered around the 26633 system. We are not opposed to it, but it must undergo a lot of plastic surgery as you have come here. In terms of training of teachers, teachers have not been trained for CBC as we are talking. If they have been trained, they are not enough, and they are not sufficient, and they are not adequate. A CBC cannot succeed without fully trained teachers and who are paid well. There is a lot of downloading, uploading, a lot of bundles needed for teachers in the primary schools. They are doing a lot of cyber work at the expense of teaching the young ones. So they have run away. There is no interaction between the teachers and the students. And while over, professors know that the more you interact with the child, the more learning takes place. That one you will read at your own level to remind yourself about it. The issue of staffing, teachers are not enough. In the UK, the teachers ratio, people ratio, is 1 to 20. In South Africa has become 1 to 30. But in Kenya is 1 teacher to 150. CBC does not require huge children populations in a class. It requires a smaller number of children. This calls for more personnel. This calls for employment with the teachers. And if you want manpower, the primary teachers who have diplomas, masters, and degrees are supposed to be engaged to teach in senior primary with improved pay. And the head teacher of the senior primary will be a senior head teacher with a master's in the same compound. They will have their own staff. They will have their own cook, like the way it works at the university level. We have the certificate learners there, diploma there with their deans of curriculum and students. We have the master's class there, and the business goes on. Otherwise, if you continue with the way it is, tell the government that they will not succeed. They will flop because of those particular areas. The issue of training colleges must undergo a paradigm shift in terms of pedagogies and in terms of curriculum. They should prepare that a train is coming with huge smoke. It needs to be rectified at that particular level. So all the CBC issues and pedagogy should be involved and included in the teacher training college to create preparedness for the CBC when it arrives at the highest level of learning. If that is not done, like one member addressed here, even the universities have to prepare for the same. There was no preparedness when this CBC was launched. It was a one-man show. It was a Western hegemony borrowed from Western countries for somebody's personal digital interests. It was not for the interests of the Kenyan people. The learners' needs were not adequately sourced. Learners were not reached to say exactly how they felt during that time with 844, like we are doing right now. And I'm finishing. In fact, I had very detailed information. I've just summarized Mukubwa, and you know, the teacher's voice is very, very important. And as I conclude, Mukubwa, as I conclude, you know, we like you and we love you. You are ours, and you know this thing is wasting Kenya's money because it was ill prepared and ill undertaken. And so we have a reason to advise. If I were a doctor who treats a patient and the patient abused me one day, I would tell that patient, pretending to tell him how he will be healed, but I teach him how he will die. But today I'm only telling you how you are going to resurrect out of your own disease. And that is where we are. That's where we are. We have said finally, capitation for schools, Kesha we are supporting, Kepusha we are supporting, it must be increased. Capitation. Hiyo pesa ipelekwe juu.
Asante sana.
You want Africa? We have said it should go up 3 times. That's why I told you I don't want to read everything here.
Asante sana.
3 times. And God bless you all. We are calling for a reinstatement of the teachers who were interdicted, sacked, and dismissed because of CBC. We are calling for that. One of them is here. This man does not earn a salary. For the last 4 years, you have a wife, you have children. If your wife is still at home, then you are the luckiest person. Some of our colleagues died. In Bungoma, 3 people died when they received sacking letters because of CBC. This is not a simple matter. I was arrested by 48 Asgaris at 11:30 p.m. and I was bungled in the deep cells of Kakamega. Slept there nights, and I went to court and appeared in court 40 times as a criminal charged teacher in Kenya. We were intimidated because of CBC. I would have ravished this thing, but because God has spoken with me to be lenient to it, let it just continue. Asante. Mimi ndo naitwa Chungani Patrick. I'm the secretary of Kakamega East and the chairman of Kakamega County.
When you come, do not start evaluating what others have presented, because each one of us has come here to make their presentation, isn't it? And especially our children who have made an effort to come here. Mwalimu Patrick, it is not right for you to talk about those children the way you did. That one you needed.
The secondary ready, such as workshops,
We have dormitories. Talk about the infrastructure generally as it was early mentioned. We also did not put into account the human resource preparation. As some people have already mentioned, it is supposed to have begun right from the colleges, that we train our teachers to come out prepared to now implement the CBC curriculum. Then we have the materials, learning materials for our learners. As we have already heard, that our parents are being taxed to buy several things, and some of them are very poor. They cannot manage. Therefore, learning materials, our government should be able to prioritize, either to bring money to the schools for the head teachers and principals to buy the materials, or actually buy them and put in the schools. Then we also have a situation of homework and the illiterate and semi-literate parents. Colleagues, there is a child who took a homework to a parent to assist. That who is this? The person who makes furniture. A parent was able to say a name of some carpenter around as an answer to that. So you can imagine cross-section of parents that are semi-literate. Their children are having those challenges. Therefore, we have that one should be well taken care of, so that we give homework that actually the student can be able to understand, not to take home for a parent to assist, because some parents are illiterate. They don't know how to do it. Then we must actually be able to improve the credibility of school-based national evaluation by being strict in the administration of the exams. I am very sure our government has taken a lot of time to struggle to develop, put in infrastructure, build roads, but we have not been able to be trained in the morals of our lives. So that if you say this exam is actually going to take care of your final grade, I am very sure our teachers, and even if you ask any other person, they will give a lot of marks. That is obvious. So we must be able to know that our evaluation should be taken care of. Credibility of that examination must be well taken care of. Then in-service training on the CBC. Colleagues surely taking teachers for 1 hour, 2 hours, and they come to implement the system. It is an abuse of the system. We are saying that in-service training on CBC must be free for one thing, and two, it must be so continuous. And if possible, all these teachers must be trained so that they are implementing what they know. Because some of them, they go for that 1 hour or 2 hours workshop, and they come and they keep quiet. They don't even have time to tell the other teachers what they have been trained. So we must be able to know that that one must be taken care of. Then when we talk about our teachers, we have what the Teacher Service Commission has introduced in the name of CBG, Career Progression Guidelines. These things should be reviewed. It should be reviewed for our teachers to be well motivated. It takes too long for a teacher to just rise up from the university and come to become a principal. And I want to tell you, Bwana Chairman, some teachers will never be even head teachers. Some of them will never become even deputies. We are asking that the CBG should be reviewed to mitigate the stagnation of our teachers in their various job groups. I also want to say that the Teacher Service Commission to play the role of an employer and not a regulator as well. That has been clearly put. That surely the TSC wants to do quality assurance, they want to do everything, within the teaching. Now we are asking, what does our brother regional director do? What about the county director? What about the castles? We are saying that the government should come out clearly, and if this is not well put, they must be able to put a clear policy in place where the role of the Teacher Service Commission is simply an employer. And I am saying that the the teachers today, we are saying we want a regulator, a body that can actually do the issues of registration, discipline of teachers, and even work hand in hand in servicing of our teachers. And then we have proper job evaluation for teachers to be carried out, for teachers to be remunerated based on the massive job they do. When the job evaluation was done, it was meant that the teachers do nothing, and therefore they are being paid very little. And they said it is only the principals and the deputies that do a lot of work. We are saying that that should be done again to ensure that our teachers are well remunerated and actually motivated. I can see the MC. Due to increasing depression, just one, I will leave it a second. Due to the increasing depression among teachers, we are asking that the government should be able to hire qualified counselors and put them in sub-county offices. These people will be able to address issues of stress among the learners and also among the teachers. Thank you so much and God bless you.
That we have already begun to train teachers under CBTE, that is competency-based teacher education. Now, we are bringing in new learning areas, a lot of them. We, for the first time, are training electrical, technology, wood technology, and of course, we are bringing back home science. So as we begin to train these new areas, we do not have teachers. So therefore, we are saying that teachers should be sent to these colleges so that we are able to train the teachers. Now, another issue that we feel strongly to present to you is that we do not have students. The enrollment is so low. Allow me to mention commissioner here, Lanziba, who was a BOM member in Lugari when it got established in 2015. We had up to 600 students. Now, this year, we have only admitted 40. The problem is we admit students under the same qualification as universities. Universities cut off the minimum requirement is C+. Diploma for secondary minimum requirement is C+. So we are suggesting that, we are recommending that diploma for secondary education get students at C plain and C+ for the subject that they are going to study. Now, 3, our students do not benefit from HELB. All other students in Tibet benefit from HELB. Why not us? So we are asking that we be included so that our students too can be able to benefit from HELB. Next, we are saying lecturers of these institutions, we are 3, Kagumo, Kibabi, and Lugari. We are the ones that train teachers, that go to train teachers even in secondary school. And how are we paid? Remuneration is very low. We are saying that that needs to be considered so that we are elevated. If we are training teachers to go and train pupils, why should we earn the same? We are also saying that we have issues of infrastructure. Now that we are bringing in these new learning areas, we need workshops. We want to appreciate and thank the government for what they are doing to support us in terms of development. However, we want to say that when monies are allocated to us, particularly development monies, we are told you'll get this amount of money, and the board of management sits and budgets based on what figure we've been given. But as we move towards the end of the year, we'll only get quarter of that. And so we have white elephants of buildings, and so we are asking that development funds be increased, and even recurrent funds, because now we are going to begin training these new learning areas, and we need to be adequately funded for us to ensure that these areas are properly funded. Having said that, Eregi is here. Eregi is training teacher for primary schools. I have the deputy here. I don't know, you'll say something. And also there is Madam here. Maybe Madam will be given a chance. She must have a point, and that's why she has come all the way. Kindly give her a chance also to say something. Thank you very much. I would like to hand over our college memorandum to the chairman.
Asante sana, tuwapigie makofi. 30 seconds, 1 minute.
Right. She is going to talk. I will just present a memorandum. Thank you.
Okay. Like we are training the people that are coming in for CBC and their issues that are there from already. Emphasis should be made on the use of locally available material.
Lakini mahitaji yenye anapewa kila siku huwezani nayo. Hiyo ni kitu ya maana sana. Inafaa iangaliwe. Number 2, maneno ya walimu. How are teachers appreciated? Wewe unajua unafaa kuwa kwa darasa kuanzia saa 2 mpaka saa 10. Lakini homework iko hapo, inafaa usaidie mwanafunzi. Hajamaliza, umeongezwa double work. How are teachers made to make it look like ni sawa kwao kufanya hiyo kazi? Teachers need to be appraised. Waongezwe kwa mshahara on behalf of the additional tasks being given. Third, the county governments and national government. Wakati wewe mzazi uko huku nyumbani, ule mwenye alileta CBC, yeye alikuwa huko Nairobi, si ndio? Hakuja kufanya public participation. We need public participation so that our views are all important, both the young, middle people and the aged. It matters a lot. Asanteni sana.
Mr. Chungana, Mheshimiwa, my great friend. We are here as leaders, but when we hear from them, kwa sababu from here na 90 poleni kwa sababu ya muda wenyewe, umeona kuna watu wamechelewa, wametoka mbali. Sasa hii imeshika nyinyi na wale walio sokoni. Nafikiria langu nilizungumzia na watu wamerudia, sitaki kurudia. All I can say, Mr. Chairman, CBC umesikia maoni. Lakini mimi kama mbunge ambaye nimechaguliwa, my greatest interest is the welfare of the teacher. Because if the teacher is taken care of, and I'm so happy Mr. Majani is here, these are very senior educationists, ambao kama kuna komiti za maana za mambo ya masomo ya kitaifa, Majani wakae ndani. Kama Majani wakae ndani, hiyo ni komiti gani? Komiti gani hiyo ambayo Majani iko ndani? Hawa ndio watu ambao wameshika elimu. Na tusaidie walimu. Walimu have suffered. Walimu wengi, they have acted for eternity. Mishahara yao never revised. People are in hardships. Kuna walimu hata naongea na teachers from the ASOLs, kula arid and semi-arid lands. Naongea na wao. We need to make sure mzigo ya CBC mwalimu pia awe taken care of, ndio hata akiamka asubuhi anajisikia wacha niende. Lakini kama mwalimu hajashughulikiwa, there is a major problem. To sababu tulifight the localization so that we don't have a scenario where a teacher anarudi kwa station on Tuesday and by Thursday ameenda. We shall not achieve any results. So muniunge mkono walimu, support me, Bishop Titus Hama Lemtu wa Lurambi, ile giant ambayo imewasumbua, mimi nitaangusha hiyo giant. Stand with me kabisa. Asanteni sana, mmejua I've spoken in coded language. Okay. Chairman, thank you.
I'm Samuel Odiwar from Ngote Boys. I'm Makoa Albert from St. Anthony Kakoi High School.
30
First of all, we would like to appreciate the government for allowing public participation in the ongoing educational reforms in our country. I'll move straight to the strengths of CBC. CBC, as we all know, it is based on specialization and it is practical oriented. So this curriculum enables a flexible curriculum that allows learners to learn at their own pace. Second, it allows early specialization in talent and ability for the learner, hence easing the pressure on the learner. The learning atmosphere has become more friendly and less official and friendly to the learners. It will do away with the cutthroat competition for high mean grades among schools, hence eliminating cheating in exams through continuous assessments. Research done on the internet ensures that the learner is able to acquire information over the internet, therefore making the learner actively involved in researching and reading. Through CBC, the learners will prepare and they will be more innovative and help or develop critical thinking skills. And then there will be a personalized attention to the learners, which will build their confidence as they acquire knowledge and skills and nurture their talents. CBC has enabled parents to follow up on the academic progress of their children, and it also encourages responsibility among students, parents, and teachers. Thank you.
Thank you. As much as CBC has its advantages, it also comes with the challenges. One, it is laborious, time-consuming, and quite expensive for an ordinary Kenyan household. Digital devices and technology and the internet are lacking in very many schools and homes. Therefore, research will not be effectively carried out. There is need to sensitize parents to seek the need to be fully involved. Also, teachers need to be trained and sensitized on the implementation of the curriculum. Overcrowding in classes may hinder individualized attention as envisaged in the CBC design. Facilities like swimming pools, workshops, and science and computer laboratories could be lacking in very many schools. There is need to put up this first. Lastly, the curriculum is rather wide, and it will be better if some subjects could be merged. Thank you.
So among the remedies on the problem of infrastructure, the government, we advise the government that that problem is just transient. It is only for a short period of time, and therefore it can just be incorporated in the secondary schools, though there are views that it be done in primary schools, but due to our keen observation, you find that the structure of the secondary schools, those that are going to accommodate the junior secondary students who are going to enter the secondary school, you find that they are designed in a manner that's able to accommodate those practicals, because that system focuses more on the field of practicals. So that means that even if we say that it be done in primary schools, it might force the government to remold those structures in order for that system to fit. So apart from that, we have got another challenge whereby in the system, you find that the assignments given to the students, those assignments for the students to do them, they depend on the parents. So we advise the Ministry of Education that in the set of the assignments should be set in a manner that it makes the student independent, because you've got students who have got families or stay with guardians who are illiterate. That means that if you compare a student that is staying with a parent that is illiterate and that one that is staying with a parent that is intelligent, it means that the performance of this child will be different from the one that is staying in that background. So considering the age of the learners graduating to junior secondary schools, I talked about that. At the same time, not all secondary schools have rooms to accommodate the 7 learners, so it is wise to have them learn from the primary buildings. So I talked about the same. So another thing is that parents should not be left behind in the system, in that the issue of sensitizing the parents will make sure that there is that compatibility between the parents, the students, and the teachers. That means that when the student goes home, he says that he needs a particular material, the parent will have to understand. So that is what also the government is supposed to do. Yeah, thank you. It's done.
Government is unable to put up infrastructure, it can request the county government to do so. They wrote to us a memo which we are using to do that. So we are not just confined to early childhood education. We are funding secondary education, we are funding primary education. And we have also put in place a world fund, 120 million per year to assist the learners who are needy in those wards, which will give them religiously. We are also aware that many of our students also perform well, but they come from needy families, and we have put aside 20 million every year, which will assist the learners who go through KCSE and join universities, who collaborate with help and pay for their fees. For the very bright ones who get A and A-, we have put aside 25 million, which will pay for them a scholarship to enable them to go through those good courses that we have in our universities. On tertiary, we are collaborating also with help, and we give them 8 million every year to take care of the learners from Kakamega County who are taking medical courses, the nurses, the clinical officers, and what have you. So we are doing that at that level, and we are assisting as many as possible. The service commission, sometimes you don't pick on our teachers, but you convinced us that they must have a TS number. We have managed to get TS numbers. So they are also your teachers. When you are in servicing your teachers, pick from ECD to other levels, because they are just your teachers. So that we can take education as one thing from ECD to the primary and secondary as well. Otherwise, let me not wait so much. I've already handed over a soft copy of this, and I'll also hand over a hard copy. Thank you very much.